They tryna turn Trenton into Baby Flint. Been signs by depression on the billboards ever since. 100 years ago we was lynched. Now they use germ warfare to kill us. I'm convinced, got the evidence. I look around and it's evident. Then go down to City Hall and see so much negligence. Real art is intelligent. A true artist sends messages that speak to your intelligence. They fought and died so I can do my thing. Not to get drunk and high or join no game. I will not let none of you die in vain. For my people I bang, bang, bang. My ancestors been through so much pain. I don't let them die in vain. My ancestors been through so much pain. I don't let them die in vain. I rep for you in everything I do. I rep for you in every place I go. I rep for you in everything I do. In every place I go. They say post-traumatic slavery disorder's fake, but I just tell them all to wake up. Everything we went through, what a way down a rape, bro. Isn't all genetic makeup. So I am my ancestors from block to block. Let's build like it's Tetris. We must unite, link up like a necklace. They fought and died and we disrespected. So I come to correct it. The legacy they left I protected. We only think about self and neglected. You're African but yet you rejected. No, my ancestors been through so much pain. I don't let them die in vain. My ancestors been through so much pain. I don't let them die in vain. I rep for you in everything I do. I rep for you in every place I go. I rep for you in everything I do. In every place I go. I do. I go.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the Dope Muslim Woman podcast live in-person interview. I'm here in the building. This is your girl, your host, Sabria Mills, with my beloved brother Bilal Hassan from the new Freedom Xchange podcast. So we are streaming simultaneously, brother and sister podcast here. So I'm going to give it to my dope brother here. So take it away.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Peace and blessings, everybody. As Sabria Mills just said, we are live here in Glen Rose Gardens here in Atlanta, the beautiful city of Atlanta, the beach state. We're here. Grateful to be here. Welcome, everyone, to the Freedom Xchange. Live with myself. Our usual team is doing a little bit of everything today. Our engineer is Brother Dean behind the camera. Sister Marsha was not able to be with us this weekend. However, she's here with us in spirit. So, Sister Marsha, we love you. We always appreciate your work, and thank you for everything that you do. So we're here in the table talks with Imam Bilal, myself, live here with beautiful dope sister from the podcast, the Dope Muslim Woman podcast, the Real Mills. And I just there's a lot of questions that I have, but we've truncated the questions down. So first and foremost, we asked all our guests if they had 30 seconds to a minute elevator pitch. Who is Sabria Mills?
Ooh. SubhanAllah. So Sabria Mills, first and foremost, I am a native of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I am a mother, and I am the content creator of the Dope Muslim Woman podcast. Professionally, I work as a behavioral therapist, and I have my own business as a behavioral coach. So that's sort of my 30-minute spill, but I absolutely love and support working with dope people like my brother Bilal, so I'm super humbled to be here with you today.
Great, alhamdulillah. So now, why or how did the platform that you created, the movement rather, it's not just a platform, it's a movement. How did that come about? Like, what was the inspiration behind that?
Yeah, well, it first started off with a deep need for me to really hone into my voice. And I noticed that a lot of Muslim women were struggling with their voice and being heard and being confident with their own narrative. A lot of our narratives have been, widely defined by men and by society and by community, and we're defined by the scarf that we wear on our heads, and we're so much more deeply layered. So it started off with just being a place where myself and other Muslim women can align to, sort of create and redefine our own narratives. And then it sort of built a bridge to a movement towards healing for our community, and it became a space for both Black, in particular Black Muslim men and women, to really build and reconnect and heal together. And alhamdulillah, we've been successful with being able to facilitate that week by week.
So do you think, because of your background as working behavior therapist, behavior therapy in that field, do you think that also adds another layer to the work that you do with the podcast?
Yeah, for sure. So a lot of these conversations that we sort of construct has a lot to do with behavior and human behavior and behavioral patterns. And a lot of times us as Black people, first of all, Muslims here in this country, a lot of us came into the deen and we thought the deen was going to really kind of be the end all be all for all of our problems, subhanAllah. But we are still supposed to do the work. And so a lot of my background in behavior is your action and your deeds, and that's what we're accountable for before Allah. So I was able to take a deeper dive into some of the issues that really face us as a Black Muslim community and see how we could pivot discussions around healing and solving some of these issues that plague our community.
Now, the show gets real. It's really real. So if you haven't checked out the Don't Muslim platform, it gets real.
We try to be.
No, but honestly, like, because we talk about some very serious issues, and the trauma is associated with a lot of the issues that we talk about.
Right.
How does that affect you? Like, does that affect you personally? And how does your personal life come into play with the platform that you've created?
Oh, it's a big part of it. So, obviously when I feel like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala charged me with this responsibility because he gives me the personal experiences for the content. So a lot of the times the content sort of mirrors my personal experiences. And season 3, it really mirrored my life. Like literally it mirrored. I took you through step by step of my healing journey. And it had a huge impact. That season was pretty inspirational. As I moved into this current season, it really had a different impact on me, and it began to affect me on different layers in my personal life. So it really does impact me because it's a very authentic, people are seeing really raw, authentic experiences. The content is just really built off of like the prayer rug in my real life experience. So it can get pretty deep. I do a lot of mental health work and support. I have a coach, I have therapy, and we make sure we get it right, brother. We don't be out here struggling in these streets.
No, so that's great. What are some of the short-term goals for the platform? For the short-term, the interim period?
Yeah, right now we're just really trying to build and develop. Like this season has been a lot about making more one-to-one connections, really cultivating building a coaching business. So outside of building a community rather. So I definitely have a community of dope women who are in a cohort right now. Even though you see the podcast week by week, but we're in a personal cohort and they're being coached week by week. So a lot of what you see on the podcast gets translated into people's real lives. So that's really where we are right now, trying to make a wider impact. And hopefully we're moving to a realm where we can be more community-based and really build bridges from that point.
Nice. I didn't know anything about the coaching, so that's great.
Low key.
That's low key, but that's important though, because it extends the longevity of the platform.
Yes.
And it gives it more validity too as well, because sometimes people like the mic.
Right.
They like the mic, but
just talk.
But like there's no like solution. We talk about the problems in our community, but we don't tend to talk about the solution. So here we have a solution, which is coaching. One solution. So that's great. Long term. Yes.
SubhanAllah. So the plan is for really the platform to be a movement for the community, to be taking just off of the sort of conversation base and really build community programs, infrastructures, really having things in place for the next generation that is coming up to really, we're kind of being more reactionary to some of the issues and problems that we've seen. But for our next generation coming up, we can be more proactive. We now have a lot more awareness around what it takes and the type of work we need to do to make sure that we are not repeating patterns as it relates to just being people who were extracted from our land, extracted from our culture, and brought here to an unknown land, oppressed and suppressed, and still being able to navigate spirituality, connection with God, relationships, and all of that. We have more in place, more understanding, to put things in place for our children. And that's the long-term goal, is to actually have programs and infrastructures created under the umbrella of Dope Muslim Woman to really build bridges with it for our children.
Nice, nice, nice. Now, how can the community, those who are watching here on both our platforms, and then maybe those who watch the replay and those who may not be familiar with your work, how can they get more involved or find ways to support you?
Well, definitely follow the Dope Muslim Woman podcast.
That's right.
Follow and like. It matters. It really matters. I know you know that.
Yes.
We have, one of the ways in which I support the platform is through my products. And so I have a link on, once you go look up the Dope Muslim Woman podcast. Definitely if you want to support it financially, at least, if we're keeping going. I have products, so you can go to the store and I have sweatshirts and, all kinds of stuff there. But in general, we just really want you to contribute to the dialogue. What's really important to me is things like this, when we're having discussions, we're coming together. I really am a big supporter and lover of the work that you guys do. And I love how you guys collaborate, alhamdulillah. But as long as we, as a community, make more intentions to really build bridges, I really think that's how you can give back to those of us who are kind of putting our heads on a stick a little bit and putting ourselves out there and really doing, trying to facilitate this for the community. Giving back means you guys getting involved and continuing to build bridges in your communities.
Excellent, excellent. I mean, you heard it first here on the Freedom Exchange with our sister Sabria Mills, the Dope Muslim Woman podcast, or the platform, the movement. Go follow it, listen to it, check it out, because it's really dope. Now, what does DOPE stand for?
Yeah, so DOPE is technically an acronym. Yeah, because I just got to say this to get off my chest. I've been getting a little pushback on Facebook.
Oh yeah?
No, on Facebook for the word DOPE. Never was a problem before, but now they're saying because of the negativity with it. But it is an acronym. It means determined to overcome pain and elevate. So this idea of moving from a place of pain, from a place of oppression, from a place of lack of understanding of your own trauma, your own pain, and moving it to a place of elevation and awareness. And so that's the acronym.
Now, no, I'm glad you said that, because that gives more clarification and edification for those who didn't know. Now, how would that translate, or how do you see yourself translating to the Muslimas who maybe perhaps are conflicted about Islam, conflicted about hijab, just overall conflicted? What advice would you give a younger version of a Sabria Mills?
SubhanAllah, I think that, we first of all, it's about allowing space. One of the things I do with this platform is allowing space for people's very real experiences. And it's very real for people to be conflicted, to be in spaces where they don't feel like their higher selves. They don't necessarily know how to reach their higher selves, and they're just really struggling. Many of us go through this all the time. The best advice I have is to really, first of all, offer yourself a lot of self-compassion. I think we're in a day and age where we need additional support. I think we've seen our parents and our grandparents try to do it on their own, and they really just did the best that they could with surviving through those difficult challenges. But we're now in a space where I think getting help, having accountability partners, having support from therapists, counselors, coaches is really vital at this time. And I think that getting that support, in addition to that, just really having some self-awareness of where you come from, who you are, what contributed to your childhood, your upbringing, so that you can have more awareness of how you're navigating in this day and age. So some of the things we're challenged with, like something as simple as the hijab, that could have an actual thought pattern that was created as a child that perhaps developed into a behavioral pattern. That becomes a very real challenge for some people. And there's no way that you're fully going to be able to understand it unless you really have some awareness around where it's rooted from. So my best advice is to seek out support, though.
Alhamdulillah, we are grateful and very appreciative for Sabria Mills from the Dope Muslim Woman podcast for stopping by on the pull-up.
Pull up.
Table talks with Imam Bilal live here on the Freedom Exchange. So go follow Dope Muslim Women's platform on Instagram and Facebook, YouTube as well.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And from anybody that's following from my page, I need you to go follow
New Freedom Exchange.
New Freedom Exchange as well. Because again, we have to support these platforms. That is how we continuously build bridges, is that we continuously support people in the community that are doing the work. So I wanted to say that.
Thank you. We really appreciate it. Really appreciate that, and appreciate you for taking the time out of your busy day to be here with us. If there are any comments and questions that are in the queue,
Not yet. Just assalamu alaikum rahmatullah wa barakatuhu from Mariam Booker.
Yes.
Aisha Muhammad says assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Khadija's on the scene. She gives the greetings.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Abu Sumayya Sadiq Kamal. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. We hope that you guys are doing well. It's nice to have it in live. I never do in person type of comedy.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like
that's like a rarity.
Live in the car.
Yeah. Right. Totally doing the car.
In the kitchen.
Right, my kitchen chronicles.
Well, we thank everyone for watching and tuning in. Again, follow the Dope Muslim Woman podcast, follow your family exchange, and until next time.
Upcoming events.
Upcoming events. Anything upcoming?
Yes, my podcast. Yes, please. So tune in again this Wednesday. We are coming back with a new series. It is called the Rebirth and Rebuild podcast series, and we are coming back with the Black Imams Roundtable.
Yes, the Three Amigos.
The Three Amigos.
Yes,
they are coming back on, and they say that we are going to have a versus, and we're talking about trust between Muslim men and Muslim women. And so I got to represent for the women out there to really bring it because I got 3 scholarly brothers coming at me, but we really want to talk about this discussion as it relates to trust in the community. Come see us 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Dope Muslim Woman podcast.
Oh, great. Definitely check that out. The 3 imams they have a good platform as well, so it's good to see the community over competition theory actually play out. For us, next week we will be tonight we're actually going to be at the W.D. Muhammad High School reunion banquet that they're having here in Atlanta, so we'll have some coverage over there as well. That's at 7 o'clock from 7 to 11. Tickets are sold out, so if you don't have your tickets, you're kind of asked out. But
I was about to say, I want my ticket.
But next week we'll be in Jersey City for Mash Ali Iman's building fundraiser. They're honoring the keepers of the Masajid, Imam Abdul Alim Razak, a good friend of ours, and a good supporter. We are coming there to support him. We encourage people to buy their tickets online. Tickets are $100. Tickets go to the rehabilitation of the roof of the Masajid, which had incurred, after some years, some deterioration. So we want to get it to where it's fixed and remodeled and nice for the winter, so we don't have problems with water leakages and things of that nature. So come through. Imam Idris Abdul Zahir is one of the guest speakers, Mashallah. He is coming up to speak. We have Sister Saida Denise who's going to be performing for us as well. So it's going to be a nice event. Again, $100. There'll be food, there'll be entertainment. So come on out. It's for a good cause. That's next Saturday at the Robert Tree Hotel in Newark, New Jersey. And that's at 7 o'clock 5 o'clock as well. Am I missing anything?
You are. That's actually the 20th.
20th. That's what I said. 20th. Oh, no. Next week is the folklore. Excuse me. The next Saturday is the folklore event that we're doing in honor of the 25-year historical pact made with the community of Imam Muhammad and the folklore movement, which is a Catholic movement out of Italy. Both leaders have long passed away now, but to honor their legacy, they reached out. They want to do something with our 2 communities to celebrate the 25-year anniversary. So please come out. It's a free program. It will be held on Zoom. That is next Sunday from 3:30 to 3 to 4:30 p.m. Registration is free. We can send the link out to everyone who's interested in coming out. And if you're not familiar with both communities or the historical pact, we will definitely welcome people to come and actually learn more about it. There will be a reenactment of the pact. There will be some cultural expressions from both communities as well, and some really dope interviews that we did with some of the pioneers in our community, Sister Layla Muhammad, a daughter of Imam Muhammad, and also Imam Amin from Baltimore, from the Muslim Center there, quite a few others as well. So please come. It's a free event on Zoom. Take advantage, and that's it. That's all I have. That's a wrap. Until next time. The next time on Table Talks. Peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum.
It's a gummy beat. Miss Boss Lady with the keyma. Hey, Miss Boss Lady with the keyma. Hey, Miss Boss Lady with the keyma. Hey, Miss Boss Lady can be nice. Hey. Miss Boss Lady with the key, Miss Boss Lady with the key, Miss Boss Lady with the key, Miss Boss Lady, Miss Boss Lady with the key, Miss Boss Lady with the key, Miss Boss Lady with the key, look through the balls, look at the flaws, dripping and salt. She making the plays no matter the cost. No, she ain't putting it on. She repping the dean, know what I mean, so she ain't never been fall. She on the scene, getting that green, so she can never be bought. She getting that check and on to the next. She sit a lot above. She demand respect, gotta come correct. Sauced up, dripping like ragu. While she walking down the avenue. If you really wanna bag you, gotta go talk to a abu. Ain't talking to Aladdin, I'm talking to Dad, and no, he ain't having. No pants sagging, no career having. Bumps sitting around playing Madden. She ain't playing no games, dealing with lames. Beautiful woman with brains. I call her Miss Boss Lady with the key, cause I don't know her name. Miss Boss Lady with the key, Miss Boss Lady with the key, Miss Boss Lady with the key, Miss Boss Lady, Miss Boss Lady with the key, Miss Boss Lady with the key, Miss Boss Lady getting be nice. Miss Boss Lady with the key, Miss Boss Lady with the key, Miss Boss Lady with the key, Miss Boss Lady with the key.
Been a boss, I don't gotta floss. Staying humble cause I was lost. Now I'm rocking my kima, getting all of them dinar. On my dean and I go hard. Alhamdulillah, gotta thank God. Elevating and I can't stop. Don't waste my time and you getting blocked. Blast up, I put you on the spot. I be making moves and you talk a lot. Following procedure, example for me, Khadija. I'm tryna own, not leasing. Stay on my grind, straight beastin'. Black excellence, stay queenin'. I gotta do it. Putting Zawa in albums, I thought you knew it. I'm about my business, I keep it fluent. I slay so effortless, ain't no congruent. Purifying my heart, cause I got affluence.
Miss Boss Lady with the key, Miss Boss Lady with the key, Miss Boss Lady with the key, Miss Boss Lady, Miss Boss Lady with the key, Miss Boss Lady with the key, Miss Boss Lady get be nice. Miss Boss Lady with the key, 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 Miss Boss Lady get be nice. Miss Boss Lady, Miss Boss Lady with the key, Miss Boss Lady, Miss Boss Lady with the key, Miss Boss Lady, Miss Boss Lady. Miss Boss Lady.